Hello, you're kicking off the Saturday's edition of QPVN Election News Bulletin. You're with Melinchi and Income Headlines. Vietnamese top leader meets Vietnamese community in Ireland. Lê Trọng Tấn, the general named hero twice. Đà Nẵng promotes inbound tourism. Within the framework of his state visit to Ireland on October 3rd local time, Party General Secretary and President Tô Lâm and the Vietnamese delegation met with 130 representatives of the Vietnamese community residing in Ireland, as well as officials and staff from the Embassy of Vietnam in the UK and Northern Ireland. The Vietnamese leader expressed his delight at the development of the Vietnamese community in Ireland. He thanked the community for their contributions to compatriots back home affected by Typhoon Yagi. He affirmed that Vietnam always stands by its overseas compatriots, and the party and state consider the overseas Vietnamese community an inseparable part and an important resource for the Vietnamese nation. Many of the party and state's policies aimed at supporting the overseas Vietnamese community have been and will continue to be implemented. On the same day, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm received Chairman of Pacific Land and Honorable Consul of Vietnam in Ireland, Patrick McKillen. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on October the 4th received delegates to the ongoing conference of the International Network of Women Engineers and Scientists in the Asia-Pacific, as well as leaders of the Vietnam Association for Intellectual Women. In his address, Prime Minister Chính said the association's hosting of this annual conference underscores its proactive role in fostering international cooperation in science and technology. Over the past 13 years, the VWU's Vietnam Association for Intellectual Women has grown to nearly 6,000 members from 12 provinces and cities, 31 research institutes, universities, government agencies, and state-owned and private enterprises. The association has had 264 researchers and scientific reports published, over 130 scientific and technological products by 26 female scientists introduced at the International Exhibition on Women's Invention 2024, more than 200 products traded on the direct and online technology and scientific trading floor. The association is the gathering place for female individuals honored domestically and internationally with prestigious scientific awards such as the Ho Chi Minh Award, the State Science and Technology Award, the Vifotech, Kovalevskaya, and L'Oreal UNESCO Awards. On October the 4th in Hanoi, the General Technical Department presented a donation of some $60,500 for Typhoon Yagi's victims. On behalf of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front, its chairman Đỗ Văn Chiến highly applauded the sentiment and support of officers and soldiers in the whole military in general and the General Technical Department in particular. It's the noble gestures and feelings of Anglo soldiers that help beautify our nation's precious traditions of helping each other and the civil-military solidarity. Earlier, the General Technical Department supported 233 soldiers and workers in the whole unit whose families suffered damage due to the typhoon and actively deployed personnel and material resources to help people respond to natural disasters. On October the 4th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, received Ms. Ala Grubbs, Director of the U.S. State in Vietnam. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến thanked and highly appreciated the efforts of U.S. aid in Vietnam in supporting the implementation of activities to overcome the consequences of the war in the country. In particular, during the recent official visit to the U.S. by General Phan Văn Giang, the U.S. side announced a new aid package worth $130 million for the Bien Hoa Air Base Area project. Deputy Minister Chiến suggested that U.S. aid in Vietnam further coordinate with the Vietnamese Ministry of National Defense to effectively implement cooperation documents on overcoming the consequences of war agreed upon by both sides, accelerate the progress toward thoroughly handling dousing contaminated soil in the Bien Hoa Airport area, support the improvement of the life of people with disabilities in 8 provinces heavily affected by Agent Orange, effectively implement the letter of intent signed in January 2021 on organizing communication activities on the issue. Ms. Ala Grubbs agreed and affirmed that U.S. aid will also cooperate with Office 701 on communication, including the upgrade of the exhibition area of Vietnam's War Ramen Museum. Throughout the two resistant wars against the French colonialists and U.S. imperialists, General Lê Trọng Tấn name is integrated in the iconic campaigns and battles that have gone down in the nation's history. General Võ Nguyên Giáp once described him as a steadfast, brilliant commander and a loyal comrade in arms. Because of his extraordinary contributions, General Lê Trọng Tấn is often referred to as a general truly deserving to be called hero twice.
These are the original documents used by Commander Lê Trọng Tấn of Division 312 when leading the offensive operation on Him Lam stronghold. The plan focused on three crucial elements of artillery coordination, breaching the enemy's defensive line, and penetrating deep into the enemy's fortifications. The division performed exceptionally, capturing Him Lam stronghold in the opening battle of the Điện Biên Phủ campaign, and eventually captured General de Castries during the final offensive. In this campaign, our troops used large-scale combined armed forces with 5 divisions. From the art of military standpoint, we successfully isolated, encircled, and eliminated individual strongholds using trench warfare and sniper tactics, cutting off the strongholds from supporting one another, which ultimately led to the victory of Điện Biên Phủ. Rising through the ranks in the fierce resistance wars and holding numerous key command positions, General Lê Trọng Tấn left behind a legacy of brilliant military strategies. His tactics ranged from small-scale ambushes to medium-sized and full-scale offensives. His approach of infiltrating deep into enemy territory became legendary. He was always present at the most dangerous and pivotal fronts, yet was a general deeply respected and loved by his troops. General Lê Trọng Tấn was a man of both talent and virtue. He joined the military early and held various command roles and achieved remarkable victories. Later, he was present in all major campaigns until the final victory of our forces. General Tấn was a commander with exceptional skills who always maintained his resolve and devised innovative strategies to overcome challenges and secure victories. Even at the age of 65, General Lê Trọng Tấn, along with his familiar pith helmet, was at the northern border to lead the defense operations. He was a talented, resolute, and principled military leader who, throughout his whole life, adhered to the values of a true commander: wisdom, courage, humanity, faith, integrity, loyalty, as advised by President Ho Chi Minh. He always set a shining example of revolutionary ethics, earning the love and respect of soldiers and the people alike.
Coming next, Vietnam's 9-month agro-forestry fisheries export reached over $46 billion. Đà Nẵng promotes inbound tourism. Despite the heavy impacts of the recent typhoon, Vietnam's agricultural sector maintained its growth rate. According to the Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, the sector will reach its goal on schedule. Agro-forestry fisheries production in the first 9 months of this year was affected by epidemics, droughts, and market fluctuations, and particularly Typhoon Yagi last September. However, in the first 9 months, the sector witnessed a relatively good result, with a total production value reaching some 3.2% and a revenue of $46.28 billion from exporting agriculture, forestry, and fishery products. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development believed that the whole sector could reach the annual goal in the last 3 months of the year. At present, the Ministry is working with the localities to monitor the development of natural disasters, promptly overcome consequences, and quickly restore production to stabilize people's lives. Since the first policies on forest preservation, many national parks and special use forests nationwide have been protected, contributing positively to biodiversity conservation. To date, a series of unprecedented forest production and development policies have turned the forest environment into a service commodity, creating sustainable financial streams that reduce the state budget on forest protection. This revenue gives forest owners and local residents a more stable livelihood.
Since its nationwide launch in 2011, the Forest Environmental Services Payment Policy has provided a sustainable and growing financial source, increasing since 2019. Those who pay include high-emission factories, clean water businesses, and hydropower plants. This funding eases the state budget's burden for forestry investment during economic difficulties. The Forest Environmental Services Policy has proven its high effectiveness. It establishes a revenue framework for forestry, supports the protection of 6.3 million hectares of forest, and benefits 1 million households living near forest. Most importantly, it helps meet international climate commitments, making it a very effective financial mechanism in forestry. Based on legal regulations and with the aim of exploiting the value of natural landscapes while raising public awareness about forest protection, some national parks have recently piloted leasing forest environments for ecotourism development. This is an innovative approach generating revenue while both protecting the forest and developing the economy. Ba Vì National Park has created a sustainable forest management plan along with the ecotourism development proposal. Once approved, it will be implemented under Decree 91. The forest multifunctional use will include tourism, conservation, workforce development, and ecosystem preservation. Revenue from forest environmental services is likely to rise as Vietnam joins international initiatives, including the carbon credit market. This policy benefits the country in environmental protection, climate change response, and meeting its emission reduction commitments that Vietnam has signed.
To sustainably increase inbound tourism, the work of promoting destinations needs to be carried out regularly and in depth. As a dynamic tourism center in the Central region, Da Nang City is striving to diversify its markets with specific strategies for different tourist groups.
Malaysia Airlines recently opened a direct flight from Kuala Lumpur to Da Nang with a frequency of 28 flights per week, as a result of the Da Nang tourism industry's efforts to promote its market in Malaysia. With a flight network to nearly 1,000 destinations in more than 170 countries and territories, Malaysia Airlines is expected to be a bridge to help Da Nang expand its tourism market to attractive destinations around the world. We are connected to not only Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, but also the Middle East, Europe, North America, other Southeast Asian countries and Australia. This will open up a huge market for Da Nang. In addition, the city tourism industry has coordinated with Thừa Thiên Huế and Quảng Nam to organize the introduction of a shared product, Wonderful Heritage Land to India, Taiwan, China, and Australia. The product was touted at the Tourism Expo Japan 2024, one of the largest tourism fairs in the world. We have done a very good job in building tourism topics, positioning destination brands, and worked out specific policies so that businesses can develop unique, creative, and distinctive tourism products. The promotion contents focus on introducing local strengths and characteristics suitable to the taste of each market, such as beach resort tourism, wedding tourism, MIC tourism, high-end golf, and school tourism. Efforts to diversify markets are expected to raise the number of international visitor arrivals to Da Nang this year to over 3.5 million. In order to diversify the market, the city's tourism industry continues to promote its products in Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia, India, and Australia. Da Nang City also welcomes foreign tour agencies to come to survey, experience, and support communication activities to promote Da Nang to international tourists. This not only helps increase the number of visitors, but also diversifies the tourist markets, reducing dependence on traditional ones towards sustainable growth of the tourism industry.
It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can watch the news again at QPVN.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.